I'm Madeline Hooper. I've been gardening for over 20 years, and of course, with gardening comes a lot of aches and pains. So I finally decided that maybe I should find a fitness trainer to see if I could fix my problems. And a fellow gardener introduced me to Jeff Hughes. After working with Jeff, it dawned on me what would be more exciting than to travel all over America, visiting a wide variety of gardens, and helping their gardeners get garden fit. Taking care of your body while taking care of your garden, that's our mission. So Jeff.
Yes, Madeline.
Today, we find ourselves in Somerset County, New Jersey. And I think where we're going to Peggy Walsh's house is a beautiful residential area. Big trees, wonderful fields. I think we'll have a lovely ride as we get close to her house.
So tell me a little bit about Peggy Walsh.
She is delightful. Just meeting her is a treat. And she's got this great smile, Jeff. She's just happy.
That's really what life's about. That if you have a choice, you can be happy or sad, and happy is the better choice.
Definitely. So she's made that choice, and she's made that choice for 95 years.
She's 95 years old.
She is 95 years young.
Well, there you go.
I hardly can keep up with her.
If you're 95, that's definitely something to be happy about. There's a lot of people that didn't quite make 95, so.
Pretty impressive.
That's happy, yeah.
The other thing that's special about Peggy is her environment. So 20 years ago, she built the house that she lives in now that we're going to visit, when she also built the garden. So it wasn't like, here's a house, I'm going to put a garden around it, or vice versa. They really go together, Jeff. So there's this marriage of garden and home that is really special. She loves the garden. She gets up every morning, makes a cup of coffee, and walks around her house and her garden.
I would like to make 95. I would like to do a coffee walk at 95.
Wouldn't that be great?
Garden.
Yeah. What garden? I'm the one with the garden.
Yeah, I'm going to do something one day.
Yeah. I love the way this house looks, this kind of courtyard look.
Stones are beautiful.
And now you get to meet Peggy.
And
there's Peggy.
Welcome, welcome.
Peggy, how nice to see
So
you
nice
again.
to see you again.
How are you? This is Jeff Hughes.
Jeff.
Peggy Walsh.
I've heard a lot about you.
So nice to see you again. Everything looks lush and beautiful.
Thank you. There's been plenty of sunshine around, so.
I bet. So would you like to take us on your trail?
We'll go that way.
You
You
want-
go first because
Okay.
it's nicer seeing the garden instead of my back.
How nice of you.
Okay.
This nice path. This is so pretty here.
That's gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, Peggy.
So glad we're stopping here at the Hollyhock because they're better than they've ever been.
They're so beautiful. The color, yellow, is just great.
There's not many flowers blooming at this time, but the hollyhocks are doing their thing.
Now, they're the tall ones, right?
They're the tall ones.
And the yellow with the clematis, yes?
Yes, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful, climbing on that wall.
How long have you been here?
20 years. Of just maybe a little more now. I think I've been saying 20 years for quite a few
For over
years.
25 years.
So in 20 years, that's a lifetime for some people. They've never been that tall.
Everything is that way. I mean, I don't think I ever remember the oak leaf hydrangeas being as lush, as
gigantic.
beautiful.
Let's take a look at those.
Yes. I remember this, Peggy, and the rhythm of your archways.
Yes.
It's so
And
beautiful.
on our left here is Saint Fiorcra. He's the patron saint of gardening.
Uh-huh.
How
and
appropriate.
I always tip my hat to him when I go by.
And he tipped his hat
Every
back, I
morning,
see.
every morning with my coffee, I say good morning. And this obviously is the tomato patch.
Right.
With the basil built in. It's a funny thing having oleanders here in the Northeast, isn't it? But they do live inside in the wintertime.
They do.
And the color, you can't beat the color or the smell.
Look at that.
You
she
look
looks so beautiful.
Beautiful, just standing in front of it. That's a portrait.
So when you started this garden, maybe you could tell us what your idea was of how you organized it.
I think it was probably organized for me by Shep Butler, who was the landscape gardener from Vermont, and came with his wonderful friend, Susan Howard, who did the flowers. He did the hardscape, planted the trees, and did all the stone walls, and she was all the cozy flowers.
Right.
So he decided it was such a little space that a medallion garden, and you'll see that these are medallions down the way, separated
section.
each section, and split by the stone walk. And so it was all done for me. There was nothing
nice.
else. So I love the mixture of flowers and vegetables.
So as we go through the garden, Peggy, like these plants, what are you growing on the arches?
Roses and clematis. Each one has a different rose and a companion clematis. Yellow down there, yellow showers. And here is the bluebell clematis and a Nellie Moser. And then I have Westerland up there with Mr. President, another beautiful clematis.
That's really pretty.
And this is a beautiful.
And that's the shrub clematis.
It's
which
lovely.
is sort of different.
Yeah,
That purple is striking.
yeah.
Again, bigger and grander and more beautiful. I mean, I've never seen that so big.
It's
That is
amazing.
just full of color.
So let's go see some more.
Alrighty, I'll follow you.
Would you like to cook with rhubarb?
I love rhubarb and strawberries. So we
So
sort
you
of
have the strawberries.
And
then
then there are peas and sweet peas in between, which won't grow. So I'm going to put that mandevilla plant in there.
in there. That'll be lovely.
See how it goes.
So that's
And
just
this-
a nice natural lattice.
Isn't it though? I mean,
Such a nice.
it's such a work of art, I think.
That's
But then
beautiful.
all that's gone out of style now. There won't be anybody but Teo that would even heard of it.
Or even try to do
Well,
that.
we're going to send this out into the airways.
Good.
People are going to be inspired by things like this.
I think the green zinnias with the purple again, the rhythm of the color of purple right now through the garden is so pretty. Peggy, it's great. Do you plan the colors?
I don't plan much.
You don't.
It's a lot of hit and miss.
I'm just
I love
surrounded
this.
by
You
just
are.
this beautiful
It's
garden. And
so
these
gorgeous.
these look like something off a chess game.
That's
The
exactly.
castles.
You know what they are? They're chimney pots from England. In London, everybody had a fireplace, and these would be on the roof.
Oh.
And so when they banned fires, some smart person went and bought them all.
Found a use for them.
And they went to an antique shop, and here they are.
It's wonderful. One thing in this garden that I think is so special, and that are these seed packets. Tell us about these, Peggy.
Don't you think? I just thought that they were so amusing and so colorful that I had to laminate them and put them out here.
I'd wear that as a pin. They're charming. And then
this.
the focal point,
And this is one of my favorite parts of the garden.
the relationship of size is so
Well,
fabulous.
not just that, but the sound of the water, because it's hitting the stones, it breaks it up. It's very peaceful.
I must say, most people do add water features to their gardens, and it is that exactly that. It brings the serenity. It brings sounds with the bird sounds and the bee sounds, and it's really.
And actually, the birds drink in it too. And I want to mention the goat on the way out. That is done by my son's father-in-law, Jack Carney. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, but he's done quite a few of the animals here, a fox and the other way, and an owl, and it's one of
wonderful.
my favorite. I say good morning to it every morning.
On your coffee walk.
Oh, on my coffee walk, exactly.
So let's see more of the garden. Such pretty lilies. They're all out now.
Stonework is gorgeous. That's a
Isn't it?
huge stone right
Look
there.
at that. How'd you get that stone there?
I carried it in on
You did.
on my head.
I almost believe.
So this must be a favorite spot. The combination of stone and the wisteria is trained in such a unique way.
I wanted to soften the look of the porch rather than the bloom. So sort of like life, it's a give and take kind of a thing. I had to give up the bloom to get the wisteria looking the way I like to do. So that's how that happened.
Usually wisteria is all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
and everybody wants that.
Yeah.
So this is
Well,
quite-
because that's how you get great bloom.
But it's like a foliage column. You know, it's just another structure. It looks beautiful. And the other thing that really impresses me is the combination of plants in your pots. So what gave you the idea to use that roost with the euchera?
Well, I saw it up in Great Island at a friend of mine, Rolly Nolan, who was actually, I think, the head of the board of the New York Botanic Garden. But the roost was much smaller, and it didn't have the dark hooker underneath. And these have grown since I bought them, because in the wintertime, we put them in the garden.
Right.
And then bring them back and put them in the pot.
You
We don't
actually plant them in the garden?
We plant them in the garden, take them out of the pot, the hooker too.
The pots are beautiful. Well, I
Yeah.
think the combination of colors of all the bright chartreuse leaves and the gray blue leaves of the hosta, and of course the euchre. It's beautiful, isn't it,
It's
Jeff?
just
It's a wonderful
Levels
combination.
and colors, and it just kind of makes you feel like you're somewhere.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank
I love
you.
it myself.
is beautiful. It's
Thank
all
you.
beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
So I have just totally enjoyed my time here from the moment we walked up to your house till you came out and I met you. Finally, I'd heard so much about you.
That scares me a little bit.
Don't let it, because I don't see a lot of problems. You've done a great job. Is there anything that's going on physically that maybe I could be of assistance?
I suppose one of the things is that I think I have a weak foot.
Uh-huh.
And so I trip a lot if I'm walking in the woods or something, not necessarily, well, on these stones.
Uh-huh.
And I just sort of drag it along. But I'm not so sure it's a physical issue. I think it's more of a mental issue, if that's what you'd like to call it.
I think you nailed it. I think you have self-assessed that very well. Can you straighten your leg out and lift it up? So that works really good.
Right.
Point and flex. You don't have a weak foot. I think your assessment is correct. I have this whole thing I teach people. They're the 3 M's. There's muscular, there's mechanical, and there's mental. And it's never all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's always 1 or 2. Have you ever had an injury or something that would have put you in a habit doing that?
Well, maybe the replaced hips.
Uh-huh.
I've got 2 replaced hips and half a knee.
Okay.
I also think growing older, you have to pay attention more, and that drives me crazy.
I think the problem there is you're not getting older.
No.
I think that's the real problem here.
Crazy to
you're
hear
defying,
that.
You're defying all aspects of
Oh.
what we think is supposed to happen when you get to your age. So tell me a little bit about balance. I just wanted to touch on that. Do your friends ever talk about their lack of balance?
Unfortunately, if you have a lack of balance, you don't like to talk about it, but you can see it. Mm-hmm. So, they don't, what happens is they don't walk.
Yeah.
And because their balance is not good. I'm not sure anxiety doesn't hurt balance too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you stop, take a deep breath, limp a little, your balance is much better.
Limp a little. Now, what does that mean?
Well, I think the word limp was just brought to my mind maybe last week, and by a friend of mine whose mother said to her, Joan, limp, go limp.
Does that mean like limp with a foot?
No, just go with your body.
Oh.
What she meant was stop being whatever Joan was at that moment, but just go limp.
Go limp.
Yes. If I take a deep breath and the anxiety that I hold, or the tenseness, not anxiety, tenseness, I can walk down those steps no problem. If I'm all tight and I'm always trying to hold on to something to help.
You should be doing my job on this show. I want to take this idea of relaxing and not getting in your own way, not trying to make yourself do something, but allowing it to happen. I just want to add a little bit to it. So let's stand up, and I want to go to the upper part first, and then we'll go there.
Okay.
I had this wonderful yoga instructor in New York City. Her name was Sylvia. I'll always remember her. She gave me the trick. Take your shoulder blades and slide them into your back pockets. And you just relax down there, and you have this relaxed understanding and relationship of your shoulder blades and your glute.
Mm-hmm.
By dropping those shoulder blades, you're lengthening that area back there. And actually, what it will do, actually, which you already are beautiful, but it draws this in and it gives you your jawline as well. You look younger.
Also, you can breathe easier, and that's got to be half the battle
That's
right
it.
there.
You've increased your opening of your, people don't understand. It's a cage. They say rib cage, and they never really listen to that second word of cage.
Yes.
And your lungs are in there, and if you don't expand it, they're in there going, hey, I can't get, and you get more. So that's excellent. You get more air out of that.
Mm.
Now, I have an exercise I'd like to do with your ankle.
Okay.
It'll get your mind connected with that, because somewhere along the line, you just stop being active with that foot of doing what it needs to do.
Right.
So I'd like you to back up just to the edge of the sidewalk there, so we have a little space between us. And I'd like you to turn your hands upright. And the reason for that is, if you turn your hand down and around, your shoulder starts to rotate in, and it causes your shoulder to come up. If you rotate your hand up like this, your shoulder starts to externally rotate, and it drops those shoulders down. So this actually put you in this place where they're hanging down naturally.
Interesting.
What I want you to, I'm just gonna hold this lightly
Yeah.
so that you can be comfortable. You're not going to fall, so you can go ahead and do the exercise. And what I want you to start first doing is just, we're gonna have about a 2-foot distance. I just want you to step over and then step over. And it's like dancing, step over and step over. Now, a little bit bigger distance, step over, wide steps. Good.
We're not getting.
Now, when they bring that other foot over, don't put it down. Just stand on one foot. And just relax and let your body do what it naturally does.
It's funny, dancing is perfect. You
It's
can do
the
it.
best exercise. It's one of the best longevity sports ever.
And the most fun.
Yeah. So just keep that up and just allow yourself to be there for the moment and feel that stack of head, shoulder, hip, knee on top of your foot, one foot.
All go
And
together.
all together right here. All right, so let's go again. Back and forth. Good. Now, as we do this, I need you to take a wider step so your body knows it's got to go somewhere. All right, and as you get there, I want you to pick that knee up. Yeah, a little higher, pick that knee up. All the way up. Good. And it takes time to do that. So take the time. You're fine. Take your time doing that. Give yourself time to bring that one all the way up. All the way up. Yeah, now bring that right one all the way up. Yeah, take your time. All right, now, this time, when you pick your knee up, I want you to leave it there long enough to wave twice with your ankle. Okay, so just one more time, pick that knee up, point and flex. Good. All right, so what I want you to do is this 3 times a day. Just do that as long as you feel like doing it, once or twice, or maybe 10 times, or just to a song. It should get that autonomic system back into your ankle.
Terrific.
And you've got the shoulder blades down to the back pockets to add to that release of all this up here.
Right.
And so what I'm gonna have to ask you to do now
You've
is,
already asked me.
I'm coming back in about, no, there's more, but wait, there's more. I'm coming back in a month or so.
Yep.
And I want you to promise you're going to do these 3 times a day, and I'd like to see what happens when I come back.
Oh, I buy that.
Do we have a promise?
You
There's the
definitely
handshake,
have a
but
promise.
I've got to have a hug.
Okay. I'm good and steady when I give hugs.
Yes, you are.
Well, this has been an amazing visit.
I don't know what to say. I have learned more from you than I think you have learned from me. I'm really looking forward to coming back, and it's not even for the show, just to see you. You have inspired me. I have learned so much from you that I can pass on. So thank you very much.
You are so welcome. We'll
You
see you
soon.
again soon.
Okay, Peggy. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
I was particularly excited about the fix I gave Peggy. I mean, because really there wasn't a whole lot to fix
It's
with this
amazing.
woman. She's 95. She's rocking it at 95.
She is.
But the one thing that bothered me was the fact that she has a foot that sometimes causes her to trip and fall, and that's not a good thing.
Especially at 95.
No.
And I think we both really admire Peggy so much. And I love the way she gets up in the morning, makes a cup of coffee, and walks around her
The
house.
coffee walk.
The coffee
Yeah.
walk. And she just does that every morning,
Barefoot.
barefoot,
Barefoot, yeah.
on stone.
Uh-huh.
Pretty impressive. She checks out all her plants, Jeff, and she looks at the vegetables that she's going to use for lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Peggy's someone who really plans ahead. She must be very smart.
Yeah, I think so too. And I actually recognized that when I was talking to her. She knew, I mean, we tested her foot and it worked, but she knew before that it was not a physical problem. She knew that it was kind of a mental problem or an autonomic problem.
That was really impressive. So you gave her exercises where she repeated things and it became an autonomic habit. So really, what is an autonomic habit?
Well, let me show you. So I tell you
no.
what,
What?
I want you to hold this,
Okay.
and I want you to take this pen and write your name on that piece of paper.
Okay.
Stop right there. What'd you just do?
I haven't done anything.
Oh, but you did. I handed to you upside down, and you flipped that thing around nimbly, and you popped that ballpoint right out. And if I had let you keep going, you would have written your name. All unconscious behavior.
You're absolutely
That's
right.
an autonomic action. Just like when you said you used to ballroom dance. You've told me over and over again how you would rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. And when it was time to go compete, you would just go out there and not think about a thing. You would just dance freely.
Just enjoy
That
it.
is autonomic behavior.
So it's something that you repeat a lot. It becomes a natural habit.
Exactly. A natural habit, autonomic habit.
Autonomic habit. So before we go back to Peggy, I think we should take our shoulder blades and we'll let them slide back into our back
Slide 'em down.
pockets. So
Can't wait to see Peggy.
too.
There she is. Oh, it's so
Thank you.
nice to see you again.
It is
It's
just
been
a
much too long.
treat to be back here with you. How are you?
Well, thank you, on this
Good.
gorgeous day.
Peggy.
It's so beautiful today.
So nice to see you
So
again.
nice to see you.
So,
Oh, I've had such a lovely time. What has it been, about a month since
Yeah,
we've seen each
about a
other?
month.
And your exercises have changed my life.
Do tell.
Yes, the best one of all, the first one you gave me, was to lower my shoulders.
I'm doing it right now.
And lowering your shoulders almost makes everything else fall into place. Because
Exactly.
you mentioned the my shoulder blades oozing down into my back pockets.
Mm-hmm.
My pockets are full.
that's so sweet.
So that was great. And then that leads into balance is so much better.
Huh?
And then confidence comes after that.
I think we need another hug for
That
this.
sounds good to me.
And your foot, how's that working out?
It's really doing well. I changed your idea a little bit about raising it from the knee. I do more heel toe, and it does the job.
Perfect.
But it works for me, and it seems to do the trick.
That was the idea.
So because of your exercises, I can't believe it, but I feel like going dancing. And I haven't heard myself say
Dancing,
that
that's
in
so
a long
nice.
time.
That's terrific. You know, Peggy, that's just
That's it.
When it works, it works. It's just so nice to hear.
So however old you are, you can always learn a lot.
Absolutely.
That's another good lesson.
That is.
Absolutely.
I forgot to show you one special place I happen to love. It's not exactly a garden, it's more of a meditative place. Oh, but I'd love to show it to you if
I
you'd like
love
to
that.
see it.
We'd love to see it.
Okey doke, follow me.
This is charming.
Isn't this toad hall? Like
This is a special spot for me. It's obviously my grandchildren's house, and you must have an invitation from a grandchild, or now even a great-grandchild to go in.
Great rule.
They love being here by themselves and having tea at their own little special table.
so sweet. It's kind of really secluded.
Yeah.
And so this is what we call the crescent border, just because that's the shape of a crescent.
It's such a lovely space, and the mixture of all the different leaves and the leaf colors. I'm sure this just gets better as fall comes round.
It does indeed. This crescent border was really designed for spring blossom and fall color. Hopefully the sun does its thing and picks up the colors of the leaves.
I can't take my eyes off that roof. That moss roof is magical.
It is cool, but it has another side to it, because a very good gardener from Ireland, and I was saying just what you're saying, and she looked at me and she said, it signifies damp.
Well, yes.
So every time I look at moss and say how beautiful, I think of that.
Think of this.
And of course, it's that way because there's so much, sun rarely gets on it.
So
we have a tea party.
yes, we have a tea party. So how did this
yes,
get here?
we do. So here's the tea party. They have their own china from Wind in the Willows.
So sweet.
And it's, be careful.
This is really special.
I love the little cars.
You know what? I have a
This
daughter, and I used to have little tea parties just 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
I miss my little tea party.
I'm going to join the tea party that you used to have with your
Cheers.
cheers. So there's just one more spot I would love to show you. And it is in honor of Saint Hubertus, who was a hunter. And one day he was out hunting and he got into a beautiful glen. And all of a sudden, a stag lay down in front of him with a cross between his antlers and said, "Don't harm me, I want to be your friend." And from that moment on, Hubert dropped his gun and never shot again, and instead went into trying to help all the creatures, honoring God by honoring all his creatures.
Oh.
So I saw this shrine in Austria, and I came back and copied it.
Oh, how
You're
sweet.
inspired, and that's
Yeah.
that's your special place.
It's my special place, and it's just hosta and leaves and very quiet.
That's gorgeous. That's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
so that's
How nice.
That's what happens out here.
Everybody should have a special place.
You bet. You bet.
That's
And
really-
if you're lucky, more than one.
Yes.
It's so much fun to show it off to somebody that likes it too. I mean, other people might think gardens are just flowers,
Right.
but
No, this is so
it's
special.
a different one.
Yes.
So now let's go back to the terrace and have a little prosecco in
What a
honor
great-
of the garden.
What
and
a
Sacred
lovely
Garden.
idea.
Good.
Well, Peggy, this has been an absolute delight. We love being with you, seeing your garden. It's been a treat. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Well, Peggy, let's dance.
Odd lot.
And 1, 2. Oh,
I feel very safe.
Good. You're doing great. This is lovely. This is fun.